What's the good word, y'all? Welcome to New York Jets Syndicate channel. It's your boy DKB here. So there is a trade idea that keeps being floated around out there between the Kansas City Chiefs and the New York Jets to give the Jets a little bit of extra draft compensation and help the Chiefs hopefully round out the bottom of their wide receiver room and hopefully give them a piece that they can actually turn into a significant player for them moving forward in the franchise. So in this particular scenario, the Jets would be getting a late day 3 pick. Doesn't matter if it's in this upcoming draft or 2025. But for the Chiefs, they would be getting wide receiver Denzel Mims. Now, it's interesting because you take a look at the Kansas City's wide receiver room right now. Kadarius Toney, who's made some pivotal plays for them. Sky Moore, a second round pick for them. Justin Ross was a former big player for Clemson. And aside from injury, he was a guy that a lot of people would have been excited about. Recent pick in Rashee Rice. Then you're talking about Marquez Valdez Scantling as the vets, Justin Watson, Richie James. Not a household name in that room just yet, and Denzel Mims isn't going to be one of those, especially not right out of the gate. But he does bring something that almost few NFL rosters in the NFL actually have, right? Denzel Mims is still a phenom athletically. Again, he's one of those guys that compared almost to the T to Julio Jones. So there's no way you can't necessarily be excited about the physical traits and some of the intangibles that he's going to bring to any NFL wide receiver room, but there is a reason to be skeptical, right? There's a reason why he'd only be worth a day 3 pick. If that, I think this is still a very hypothetical trade. For this fact that Denzel Mims has been through quite a bit, right? And I think NFL analyst Jim Cerny, who's also talked about this particular trade, broke it down pretty well. Denzel Mims has had trouble with the playbook. He's dropped passes. He's had no touchdowns in 30 NFL games. And the coaching staff, honestly, and we're talking about two different staffs, one under Mike LaFleur, this new one under Nathaniel Hackett. Neither one of them seem to have a lot of faith and trust in Denzel Mims. I cited Green Bean and what he mentioned on his channel in terms of some of the rumors out there that the new coaching staff isn't high on Denzel Mims already. And I would imagine it's due to the playbook, which seems to be part of the biggest struggle. But you add into the fact that he doesn't really play special teams. He really just started kind of getting an opportunity last season just to be able to go out there and try to see the field. And honestly, most of his opportunities have come via injury. If there wasn't significant impact to the wide receiver room in terms of Corey Davis and what we wanted to do last year, honestly, he probably doesn't, see the field as often as he has. So there's still things to love. Julio Jones, the athletic profile, is one of those. So, elite athleticism has to be marked down for him. You're also going to be talking about the big playability. He's averaged something like 16.8 yards per catch. That you would imagine will be boosted with better quarterback play. And then, of course, a foundational understanding of the offense. And then his run blocking ability. There's a reason why we trusted him to go out there and try to fill Corey Davis's shoes once he received an injury. So when you think about what he brings from a physical standpoint, and then the Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes effect on any player on the offensive side that's going to come in, you can't help but be excited for that. So, think about this guy as essentially a fresh product. He's had NFL experience for a guy that's been in the league for 3 years, but not to the, level you would generally expect out of a 3-year prospect. Very similar to like a Zach Wilson in that regard. So they would still be getting essentially a pretty fresh candidate. For the New York Jets, we just want to recoup whatever we can recoup for damaged goods at this point. So whether that be a 5th, 6th, 7th round pick, I think all of those would be acceptable given the circumstances of why he hasn't been able to participate in offseason practices with the food poisoning illness. I think he had an injury the season before, why he hasn't been able to see the field with the lack of faith from the coaching staff and probably their inability to actually go out there and develop him to some degree as well. This has the makings for kind of a perfect trade. Andy Reid gets to essentially reshape the career of this young Denzel Mims. Probably gets him on a bargain contract if he can provide a way to be productive right away. And he's going to offer something different from what a lot of, again, these NFL wide receiver rooms are going to see the moment he steps into the building. And to sweeten the pot, he's still on his rookie contract, so he's only making 1.7 million this season. They can still save a lot of that money. It's only going to be a dead cap charge of 377,000 if he's cut before week 1. So I don't see how this doesn't necessarily get done before the regular season, because it's definitely looking like Denzel Mims is on the outside looking in this wide receiver room, especially if we do want to hold on to a 6 wide receiver with his inability to play special teams. So maybe the Chiefs, it would be, preferable, I think, for both sides to get this done sooner than later if this is a realistic opportunity, because you want to try to get him out there on the field, getting acclimated to their offense sooner rather than later, so you can see if you can use him right away. If not, then you're really sitting on him, and then you're hoping that he kind of takes the Justin Ross route and maybe becomes a significant portion of that Kansas City Chiefs offense. But let me know where you guys stand on this. The New York Jets, Kansas City Chiefs trading for Denzel Mims. He would finally no longer be a New York Jet, but lands himself in a very great situation for any young wide receiver to go in and hopefully produce a great career for themselves. I'll catch you guys again. Peace.